The worst guest we've ever had, because people used to ask me who the worst guest was.
Yes. Oh,
Graham Norton has welcomed hundreds of celebrities onto his iconic red sofa, creating some of the most entertaining and viral moments in talk show history. Known for his sharp wit, playful humor, and effortless charm, Norton has the rare ability to make even the most reserved guests open up. For years, fans have wondered if he's ever had a truly terrible guest. And while he's always been too polite to say, the truth has finally come out. At 62, Graham Norton admits there were a handful of interviews he'd rather forget. Moments when even his quick thinking and humor couldn't save the night. Born Graham William Walker on April 4, 1963, in Clondalkin, Dublin, Norton grew up in a close-knit Irish family that valued laughter and storytelling. His father worked as a Guinness sales representative, while his mother was a schoolteacher who encouraged his creativity. From an early age, Graham was quick-witted, funny, and full of imagination. After studying at University College Cork, he left before graduating, chasing his dream of performing in London. It wasn't easy. He juggled odd jobs and struggled to make ends meet, but his persistence eventually paid off. His early work in stand-up comedy, marked by self-deprecating humor and a flair for the outrageous, led to his breakthrough in the late 1990s with So Graham Norton, followed by V. Graham Norton, and eventually The Graham Norton Show, which became a global phenomenon. With its relaxed format and hilarious group interviews, Norton became television royalty, known for making the biggest stars feel right at home. But even the best hosts have their breaking points, and Norton has quietly revealed the guests he found nearly impossible to deal with. The first was Mickey Rourke, whose appearance was painfully awkward from the start. Unlike most guests who match Norton's energy, Rourke barely engaged, answering questions with vague, one-word responses and avoiding eye contact. Norton tried everything to draw him out, but Rourke's disinterest created long silences and left the host scrambling to keep the show alive. Next was Mark Wahlberg, whose 2013 appearance was infamous for all the wrong reasons. Instead of being quiet, Wahlberg was too lively and clearly intoxicated. He interrupted other guests, stumbled over his words, and even sat on Norton's lap mid-interview, leaving everyone, including Sarah Silverman, visibly uncomfortable. Norton later admitted Wahlberg was completely out of it, calling it one of the most chaotic interviews of his career. Then came Robert De Niro, the legendary actor whose quiet, cautious nature made conversation painfully difficult. While De Niro wasn't rude, his short answers and guarded demeanor clashed with the show's high energy. Norton once joked during the taping, "This is hard work, Robert," summing up the struggle perfectly. Another challenging appearance came from Kevin Costner, who wasn't unpleasant, but simply didn't match the show's rhythm. His calm, serious tone made the playful atmosphere feel stiff and uneasy. Norton later said, "Some people just aren't made for this format," and Costner seemed to prove that point. But the most uncomfortable encounter of all came with Harvey Weinstein, long before his downfall. Even then, Norton sensed something unsettling. Weinstein dominated the conversation, cutting off other guests and constantly bragging about his achievements. The atmosphere was tense, and Norton visibly struggled to control the show. After Weinstein's crimes came to light, Norton reflected on that episode saying, "Looking back, it all makes sense." Finally, there was Daryl Hannah, whose interview Norton called one of the most excruciating of his career. She gave short, one-word answers, refused to engage, and seemed completely detached, leaving even Norton, a master of awkward moments, with nowhere to go. It was, as he later admitted, a very long night. Despite these rare misfires, Graham Norton remains one of television's most beloved hosts, admired not just for his humor, but for his empathy and grace under pressure. Off-screen, he leads a grounded life filled with close friendships, a love of books, and a passion for supporting LGBTQ+ visibility. Today, he continues to charm millions around the world, proving that even after a few disastrous interviews, his warmth, quick wit, and authenticity have made him an enduring icon of entertainment.